It's morphin' time. Pterodactyl.
Hi there, this is Datila and with Rangers of Wrestling, and welcome to the It's Wrestling Time AEW Dynamite and Friday Night Smackdown post show. So, welcome to the It's Wrestling Time AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown post show. Alright, so let's get started with AEW Rampage. So Rampage kicked off with a tag team match. It was Bobby Fish and Adam Cole versus Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy. I thought this was a great way to kick off Rampage. It was a good match. I liked it. I really did. What did you guys think? Did you guys like it or no? Alright. So a couple spots was when that actually my favorite spot was that at the end, that Avalanche Falcon Arrow. And of course, like Adam Cole and Bobby Fish were victorious in this match. So then after this, we got a Tony Nese and Sammy Guevara segment. Basically, Tony Nese saying that he was scouting talent and that the perfect way to debut would be to win the TNT title. So he challenges Sammy Guevara next week, who shows up and accepts the title. And then and then Tony Nese attacks him and says that guys like him were not available. And that's the only reason why he's champion. So then after that, we get Riho versus Dr. Britt Baker D.M.D. And if Riho wins, she gets a guaranteed title opportunity against Britt Baker. So this was a good match. One thing that I noticed was that it looked like Britt didn't care that Jamie was not with her when she was coming out to the ring. I feel like they're probably planting the seeds. Britt Baker came out first, and then a couple seconds later, Rebel, and then Jamie Hayter came out. So it looks like they might be planting the seeds here for a turn. I thought it was a good match, but it was a predictable match. Riho won, and commentary made note that Britt Baker has yet to defeat Riho. So it's predictable. We know Dr. Britt Baker is going to defeat Riho. I don't think Rio's taking that title belt off of her. That's the one thing that was like, okay. So then after this, we had Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia in the main event. This main event wasn't spectacular, to say the least. It was a good main event, but there was nothing special. Eddie Kingston won, and then he got attacked post-match in a 2-on-1 by 2.0, and then Chris Jericho came to help him. So in the words of Teddy Long, I think we're getting ourselves a tag team match now. Player holla. It's probably going to be Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston versus a 2.0. If that match hasn't been announced, it'll probably be announced. And that basically concludes Rampage. If I had to pick, if I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, I definitely would rate it a 3. It was a pretty decent Rampage, but it wasn't the greatest Rampage of all time. Rampage usually has been stronger than SmackDown, but more on that after I review SmackDown. But yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was a decent show, but it was nothing special. Nothing. It definitely Dynamite blew Rampage out of water. All right. So now for SmackDown. SmackDown actually kicked off with Kyla Braxton in the ring addressing Brock Lesnar rumors. And then Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman came out. And Heyman basically let it all on Kayla, saying that and accuses her of not being a legit journalist because she's talking about rumors and stuff, having backed up with facts. And I thought it was actually pretty good. Roman says that Roman says that rumors give losers false hope, and that compared to everybody, and compared to him, everyone's a loser. He's beaten everybody, which is true. He said Lesnar's the number one loser around here. That's so true. Definitely true. Hi, Joe. Let me see. Joe Shipley saying it was a good night of wrestling. SmackDown was pretty good. Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. So and he says Big E's also a loser because he had smashed, and that he's running laps around the roster. And he says it doesn't matter who wins the battle royal because he will smash them. Now Roman says something that got a lot of people talking. He says that when his time here is done, sooner or later, the whole world will acknowledge him. So it was that little thing that got people talking. Is he saying that he might leave WWE anytime soon? Is he going Hollywood? Did he get a role that we don't know about? Or is he just playing people? I guess we have to wait and see in the future. So then after this, we got Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. This match wasn't too bad. The crowd was definitely into it, but then again, they were in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Jeff Hardy is from North Carolina, so that's probably why the crowd was into it. Surprise, surprise. Here's my thing that I thought was surprising. Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre ended up winning. Yes, Jeff Hardy, from whose home state is North Carolina, actually won. He won. And WWE usually has a habit of having hometown of wrestlers losing in their hometown, home state. I thought that was the surprising thing of the night. Then after this, we got Ridge Holland making his in-ring debut against Cesaro, and they introduced it as Fight Night. So is that the team name? I'm not entirely sure. We have to wait and see what happens with that. So during the match, Sheamus distracted Cesaro to allow Ridge Holland to take advantage, but it wasn't enough. Cesaro won and spoiled Ridge Holland's in-ring debut. So there's a question here that begs the question: was that the right call? Was that the right call? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that was the right call? Because you can make the argument. There's the argument to be made that says, oh, Ridge Holland needed to win his in-ring debut. But yet, if Cesaro loses, it's like, oh, Cesaro loses again. So, what do you guys think? Should have Ridge Holland won his in-ring debut, or was it a good thing Cesaro was winning? I'm actually happy Cesaro got the win. I like Cesaro, and it just adds to the story. I think it adds to it. I think Ridge Holland losing definitely adds to it, because if he would have won, it would be like, okay, yeah, he won his in-ring debut. Now that he lost, it's like, where does he go from here? So we have to wait and see where that goes. So the next match was a Thanksgiving leftovers match. It was Boogz versus Angels. So I thought this was a decent match. I like the fact that Humberto Carrillo distracted Rick Boogz by playing his guitar, and then Nakamura kicked him. He went through the table. So the ring was surrounded by tables, like Thanksgiving stuff, because it was next over. And Carrillo went through it. He went through it, and Angel took advantage of that distraction, and he ended up winning the match. So I, for one, am happy that the Lotharios are on a roll. I like the Lotharios. However, I feel for Nakamura because he's not doing much, and he's the Intercontinental Champion. What feud? I can't believe I'm saying this, but when you look at Raw's being with Damian Priest and having him do an open challenge, you would think that they would do the same thing with Nakamura, at least something similar with Nakamura, so that he could defend the Intercontinental title. But he hasn't really done anything except be in Rick Booz's corner. I mean, they had a tag match, but what else has Nakamura done? Nothing. He's basically a meaningless title ring. They need to make the Intercontinental title mean something again. They do. So with this match, it could have gone either way. This could have been cringe. Could have been bad. I'm pretty sure there's people that thought that this match was bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was decent. I liked it. Could they have used the stuff more? Yeah, they probably could have. I honestly think that they could have used the leftovers more. Maybe a pie to the face. Maybe someone getting hit with the turkey or ham. I would have liked to seen it, but then again, if they give us that, people complain that this is bad, this is terrible, this is cringeworthy. I actually liked it. That was decent. Then we get a Charlotte segment. And she said she was disappointed with the official in that match. Will my comment be ignored again? What comment, Randy Viper? Hi, Randy. Thanks for yelling my name out. It says Boo Steve Callan. And she said that the only way Becky beat her was by cheating. And she says she knows she's a better athlete and that she's the most dominant woman in sports entertainment. Yes, she said sports entertainment, not wrestling, which I'm sure rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And then Toni Storm came out and called out Charlotte and said that she was right and that her obsession with Becky cost her the match. And that Charlotte's probably going to go after her now. And Charlotte says that she barely even knew Toni Storm existed. She tries to cheap shot her, and then she pies her in the face. Randy Viper jumping ahead with the rating here. So next we got Shayna Baszler and Nattie versus Sasha Banks and Naomi. This was actually a decent match. I like the spot with Naomi and Nattie towards the end, going back and forth with those pins. Sasha Banks and Naomi won. Surprise, clean finish. So the belt didn't get involved, but I question as to why Shayna Baszler and Nattie all of a sudden are in a tag team. You take Shayna Baszler out of her team with Nia Jax, put her on SmackDown. You make her a Sonya Deville Slacky for 2 weeks, and now you're putting her in a random tag match with Nattie. I don't know where they're going with that. Please tell me they're not going to be next in line to challenge for the women's tag titles somehow by some miracle. So then, to close the show, we have the Black Friday Invitational Battle Royal winner gets a title shot against Roman Reigns. So throughout the night, Drew McIntyre was asking if he was going to be a part of this match, and it turns out he wasn't a part of this match. So before the match started, after Sami Zayn and the Viking Raiders had entered, he came out with his sword, and he started swinging. Everybody got out of the ring, and then it cut to commercial break, and we don't know how they got Drew McIntyre out of there. And a couple of things, Madcap Moss eliminated Shanky and Cesaro. How that was possible, I don't know. And then Corbin, he tried to eliminate Corbin. He failed. Corbin then eliminated him. And then Sami Zayn went through the ropes. And Sheamus single-handedly eliminated the Viking Raiders. So that was a couple spots. So, again, we were in North Carolina. You guys know Jeff Hardy's from North Carolina. They didn't do this early in the night, but they sure did it to end the night. Jeff Hardy ended up winning the Battle Royal, supposedly, and the crowd was super happy. But Sami Zayn early in the night had gone through the ropes, so he technically wasn't eliminated. And I saw this coming from a mile away. Sami Zayn comes out and eliminates Jeff Hardy and actually won the Battle Royal. Kyla Braxton was in the ring, I guess about to interview him, when she got the news that Brock Lesnar was going to return next week. And that's how we close SmackDown. All right, Randy Viper giving it a 4 out of 5 today. He said it was solid, and he gave SmackDown a 6.5 out of 10. I have to say, yeah, SmackDown was... I liked SmackDown tonight. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. For it being a post Thanksgiving, it wasn't terrible. Honestly, that Thanksgiving leftover match could have been cringe. I didn't think it was that cringe. I definitely have to give... I think it's a tie. 3 out of 5 for both. 3 out of 5. Rampage and SmackDown. What was the better show? Oh God, I'm gonna get thrown stone at me for saying this. I see SmackDown was a 7.5 out of 10. Wow, Joe Shipley. Any particular reason why you give it a 7.5 out of 10? Rampage 5.5 out of 10. Wow. It looks like we all came to a group consensus. I personally think SmackDown was a better show tonight. And it seems like everybody does think SmackDown was a better show. Now, before people throw stones at me, for the last couple of weeks, Rampage has been the stronger show. It has. But tonight, I think SmackDown was a lot stronger. Rampage, like I said, nothing special. There was really nothing on Rampage that was must-see TV. Nothing. Dynamite was hell of a lot stronger than Rampage. The pie to Toni, lol. Yeah, and SmackDown wasn't that bad. So SmackDown was, in my opinion, the better show tonight. Last week I gave it to Rampage. The week prior to that, I gave it to Rampage. Prior to that, I gave it to Rampage. But just tonight, SmackDown was definitely better than Rampage. You can feel free to disagree with me. Hey, I have no problem if you disagree. But I'm just giving you my opinion. And again, so let's wind back as to why I think it's the better show. Britt Baker versus Riho, predictable. We knew Riho was going to win, and we know Britt Baker's going to defeat her. Tag match was good. It's nothing special. Kingston versus Garcia, good main event, but nothing special. The Thanksgiving after match wasn't cringe. Could have been cringe. It wasn't. So that's why I picked SmackDown. And Steve Callahan saying good review. Thank you, Steve Callahan. I really appreciate that. But that being said, that concludes this review and this sub and like, yeah. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Yes, and she always does great reviews. Oh, thank you, Joe Shipley. That means a lot, Joe. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. I think Sami Zayn's gonna defeat Roman. Hell no, Sami Zayn's not gonna defeat Roman. They haven't really established anybody as a legit threat to take the title off Roman. Maybe Drew McIntyre is the closest we'll get, but it's obvious they don't want to have Drew McIntyre face Roman Reigns yet for whatever reason. Maybe they want to get his rivalry with Lesnar out of the way and then move on to Drew. You know, we are towards the end of the year, so it is believable that Drew could face Roman at WrestleMania, but I'm not entirely sure. But I would like to see Roman versus Drew at WrestleMania with Drew McIntyre possibly taking the belt off of Roman, because I can't think of anybody else besides Drew and Lesnar that would potentially take the belt off Roman Reigns. But that's just me. So that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. Help me get to 300 subscribers. I'm so close. You can do that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. So bye, and I will see you guys next time.